Welcome back to Community Kitchen Teachables. My name is Anna, and I run a program here at Community Kitchen Programs called Calgary's Cooking. In today's video, we're going to talk about chocolate, white, milk, and dark chocolate specifically. Number one, all chocolate comes from the same source, and it comes from the cacao tree. Think of a football. That's how the chocolate or the cocoa seeds or the cacao seeds are grown. So they're in a pod and there's about 40 to 50 seeds per pod. They get harvested, they get dried and roasted. There's a big manufacturing process at the other end, which I'm not going to go into in this video, but that's basically where it all comes from. So it doesn't matter if it's white chocolate or dark chocolate, it all comes from the same source. In order to make 1 pound of chocolate, you are going to need 400 cacao seeds. So it is quite the process to grow chocolate, harvest chocolate, and to make chocolate. Another fun fact about chocolate is the cacao seeds used to be used as a currency way back in ancient history in some cultures. So the cacao seeds hold a lot of value, and just like any kind of crop that is grown, they're also subject to climate change, weather patterns, harvesting, and the prices do fluctuate on the cacao seeds. Why is there some chocolate that's more expensive than others? There's a natural fat in chocolate called cocoa butter. The more expensive chocolate will have more of the cocoa butter, which is a very expensive ingredient on its own. It will have more of the natural fat, the cocoa butter, in the chocolate. Where a chocolate is a different price, or it's a little bit more cheaper of a price, it's because the manufacturer has taken out the cocoa butter and has replaced it with cheaper fats. So think of things like vegetable shortening. So that's why when you go to a store and you pay a little bit more money on the chocolate has a very different taste. It's usually a little creamier. It has more of a velvety texture in your mouth, and it melts a lot easier. Whereas chocolate that's a little bit on the cheaper side, because the natural fat has been replaced, it will tend to not taste as rich, and it tends to not be as creamy. Sometimes when chocolate is a little bit on the older side, or if it hasn't been stored properly, you will see a whitish hue on top of the chocolate. And that is called a bloom. So there are two different types of bloom. There's a fat bloom, and then there's a sugar bloom. Now, it looks like mold, both blooms, but it is not mold. You can eat the chocolate when the chocolate has bloomed. All it basically means is that in a fat bloom, the natural fat, the cocoa butter, has risen to the surface. And it has risen to the surface because it wasn't stored properly or it's gotten older. The sugar bloom will happen in chocolate that has a little bit more sugar into it. So for example, white chocolate or milk chocolate. And again, all it is the sugar that's in the chocolate rising to the surface of the chocolate. You can eat it, it is perfectly fine. It may not be as fresh as the day that it was packaged. Now, I've talked a little bit about cocoa butter. Cocoa butter, again, is the natural fat found in chocolate. Now, it can get removed from the chocolate making process, and it can get used in all sorts of different applications. For example, in the cosmetic industry. So you do see a lot of it in hand creams, face creams, sometimes in cosmetics. And you can always tell when cocoa butter is in it, even if they don't advertise it on the package, because you'll be able to smell that very distinctive chocolatey smell in the product. So in front of me here, I have white chocolate, milk chocolate, semi-sweet chocolate, and dark chocolate. So we're going to talk about the white chocolate first. So white chocolate isn't as popular as the milk chocolate, which is the most popular, but a lot of people do really like white chocolate. Contrary to what it's called, really good white chocolate is actually not that white. It's more of a creamier ivory color, and that is because of the cocoa butter. So cocoa butter, when it is melted, looks just like clarified butter. White chocolate doesn't have the cocoa solids. It actually gets the cocoa solids removed from the white chocolate. So the cocoa solids is what makes chocolate its distinctive color. Okay, the more cocoa solids in the chocolate, the darker in color the chocolate is. Now, there is a little bit of this idea out there that white chocolate is considered not a chocolate at all. That is false. White chocolate is still considered a chocolate. It does pair really well with caramel, coffee, honey, and mint. The other addition to white chocolate is the addition of sugar and milk solids, but again, it does have the cocoa solids removed. And another name for cocoa solids you might see or read is either chocolate liqueur or cocoa mass. Moving on to the next chocolate is the milk chocolate. And this is pretty much everybody's favorite chocolate. Most chocolate bars are made with milk chocolate. It has the addition of the cocoa solids in it, which is why it's darker than the white chocolate, but it doesn't have as much of the cocoa solids as the dark chocolate. It also has a little bit more sugar in it than the white chocolate, and it has the addition of milk solids. Now, again, there's varying degrees of milk chocolate out there. Again, the more you spend on chocolate, the better quality the chocolate is going to be, and it's going to be a lot more satisfying. Milk chocolate also tends to be a lot more creamier than dark chocolate, but not as creamy as the white chocolate. Okay, the next chocolate we're going to talk about is kind of a hybrid between the milk chocolate and the dark chocolate, and that is called semi-sweet. So semi-sweet chocolate is essentially that. It is more towards the spectrum of dark chocolate, but it has the addition of a little bit more sugar in it. So in my mind, the semi-sweet is like your best of both worlds when it comes to the intense flavor of dark chocolate, but the smoothness of milk chocolate. So semi-sweet you can easily buy in the grocery store. It does come in chips like you see here. I have not seen an actual semi-sweet chocolate bar, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. But again, it kind of satisfies that idea of wanting a little bit more of an intense chocolate taste, but without the huge amount of sugar that you would get in milk chocolate. I have two packages. One is 70% and one is 100%. And as you can see, if you compare the dark chocolate to the milk, you can certainly see the difference in color. Dark chocolate is certainly darker than the milk. People who really like dark chocolate really like dark chocolate. And you might wonder, well, why would somebody eat dark chocolate? What is that all about? Well, dark chocolate is the most flavorful. It is as close to tasting what pure chocolate is without the addition of sugar and milk solids and other ingredients. It's the most purest of the chocolate in terms of flavor. Dark chocolate, though, can be very intense. As you will see here on the package, the 70% versus 100%, you will see on the package that we have 70%. And what this percentage actually refers to is the percentage of chocolate that has been made from the ingredients, specifically in the cocoa bean. So that means 70% of this product is made with 70% of the cocoa bean. 100% means that 100% of this product is made with 100% of the cocoa bean. The higher the percentage on the package, the more intense the chocolate's going to taste, the less sweet it's going to taste, and ultimately the more bitter it will taste. Okay, so this right here is 100%, and that means that there is absolutely no sugar in this whatsoever. but it also has the most intense flavor of chocolate. There is some information out there that dark chocolate is heart healthy. Now, what does that mean? Well, yes, dark chocolate has been proven to be healthier for you than either milk or white. In order to benefit from the healthy aspect of dark chocolate, you need to eat at least 70% or higher, okay? Now, everything, of course, comes in moderation, so you don't want to just sit down and eat chocolate after chocolate after chocolate, thinking that it's going to do your heart good. So everything in moderation. But one of the advantages to eating dark chocolate is that it has a lot of anti-inflammatory properties, which is why it is healthier to eat. It also has, in most cases, very little sugar added to it. So of course, the less sugar, the healthier that product could possibly be. That concludes our chocolate video. Thank you very much for your time and enjoy your day.